All my day plan. You don't know who house you're going to Thanksgiving. You don't know who house you're going to Christmas. You don't know what to eat. You don't know what's on the menu. You try to you know you ain't gonna get all y'all. We tired of y'all. Make up your mind. It's 10 days away. Call somebody. Let us know where you gonna be at. We trying to look for you. We ain't call no more. We ain't checking on you no more. You won't get a play. Anyway, Thursday. What's going on, baby?
Yo, man, what's up, bro? You know what I think is happening? Your echo cancellation might be on. Could it be canceling out your voice?
Oh man.
But that's all right though. I ain't gonna make you do it again. We ain't gonna make you do it again. And then I surprised you got switched up the theme song on you.
Yeah, you caught me a little off guard with the new theme song, but it's all good, man.
Yeah, man.
All y'all last minute planners, man, listen here. Let's get together, man. It's 10 days away. I'm tired of looking for y'all. We don't know who house you're gonna be at. You trying to get a room all late in the game. You know, rooms is filling up at Big Mama house. You know, you ain't gonna come in here on Christmas Eve, December 22nd. Can I get a room? No, you on the floor, brother. You on the air mattress, and you gotta bring your own pillow and blanket too. Anybody got time for you last minute, man? You knew you wasn't doing that at your house. Why you didn't call your auntie them last week? Anyway, man, go ahead, man. I'm tired of
y'all. Y'all already know. But before we begin, you already know what this is too.
Give me my theme music.
Yeah. OG is in the house.
He in the house. You know what it is.
Book of Man supporter since day one.
Welcome, brother. You know, comments are always welcome and expected, sir.
Oh, yeah. And then we got Mr. Help to Cover himself is here.
Oh, there he is.
Mr. Freddie Brown. Freddie Brown. I ain't got you no song, Freddie, but I give you the horn.
There it is.
We'll get that. My boy Fritz in the house too. So, you know, love you, man. I'm glad you're here. And let's go ahead and get this thing rolling because we got a time. We got to be done by 8. We got 45 minutes to do what we're going to do. All right, y'all. Here it is. If you want to participate in today's discussion, one way you can do it is leave a comment below. Whatever screen you're watching, whoever page is on, you go ahead and leave a comment in there. We'll throw it up on the screen like this. Fritz said you hype my friend. He love it. So, you know, we there. We with that. Second way, if you really got a lot to say, you want to jump in this, participate with us more than you feel like typing, click that link right above. The first link will bring you to the green room so we can throw you on the screen. You can be with us. Second link gives us permission to use your picture and your profile name. If you come up, you don't have to stay up. You can drop in, say what you got to say, drop out. Or if you want to stay on with us for a minute, guess what? You are always welcome, man. So there we go. Now let's do it.
Also, I want to say this, man. If you're out there and you're watching, you've been following us for a while, or if you're brand new or whatever, hey, we want your comments. We want your comments on what we're doing, and we want to know how we're doing. We got some plans. We're trying to take this thing to another level, but we got to know what we need to work on. I know I got to get my sound and my camera and all that stuff together. It's a work in progress, but anything y'all see, man, let us know so we can make this thing the best it can be.
Oh, yeah. Well, bro, I've been doing this for years, so you know how that is. I got a big head start on you. All right, let's do it, man.
Oh, man, listen, I'm going to tell you something before we even get into these chapters right here. Listen, I'm fully convicted on these chapters right here. I think I made the mistakes that he talks about in every one of these chapters at least twice in my life. But let's go ahead and we're going to roll it. He definitely called me out. This first one, only once that I can think of. But at least one time on all the other chapters. But go ahead, bro.
Man, there's some stuff in here. Part 4, we did part 1 was about developing you. Part 2, understanding relationships. Part 3, how to control yourself. Part 4, what women really want. Whew.
Yeah.
So it says, choose a woman who chooses you. I mean, that seemed like common sense, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and translate that into modern terms. Quit simping. Stop simping. Okay. She don't like you. She don't like
what?
Your
What do
name
they
is
call them?
food in her phone, sir. Your name is food.
They
Dinner.
call them what it is, beta male orbiters. That's what they
Yeah.
call them.
Don't be that guy, man. I've been that guy before. Not never again in my life. You know what I'm saying? If you see me with a, you can believe it's going down. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
There you go. But I like the way he put this stuff because he kind of he cut right to it.
Yeah.
And when he put it in a man-centric kind of language, he says if a man wants a woman who doesn't want him, he cannot win. You can't win.
Can't win.
Then a man must determine whether a woman really wants him, but is playing hard to get, which these days, you know, that'll get you locked up, or whether she really doesn't want him. Now, go ahead, man.
He talks about that, and he says, you know, it can be hard to distinguish between when a woman really is playing hard to get or she really don't want you. That can be difficult because there's a lot of women out here that want you to quote unquote apply pressure.
Yeah.
But if you have to, if you're extending yourself all the time, she's never reaching out to you. That's a pretty good sign that she don't really like you like that. If you always the one reaching out, you always the one making contact, she don't like you.
And nobody want to be used. Nobody want to get used. Fritz say stop chasing, stop pursuing. That's how you find out. Well, let's jump more into this. Look at what he says. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to be with a woman, but she doesn't really want to be with you, what do we say to do? Because the question I asked in the beginning, I wrote it in my notes. How will he tell us? And he tell us, you must speak to your friends.
Yep.
Ask them to be honest with you. And if they think the woman want to be with you, then you know she do. If she don't, listen to your buddies.
Now watch this right here. If you've been going back and forth with this woman, talking to them for any considerable amount of time, and you haven't met her friends, and she hasn't met your friends, it probably really ain't nothing anyway. So at this point, your friends should have already met her and have an opinion of her. So if it's been any considerable amount of time, and they haven't met, y'all haven't met each other's, you know, friend group and important players in the game, y'all probably don't really like each other. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, and this is one that's gonna save you, man, because I mean, a lot of women gonna deny this, but the foodie call is there, and we get used for that. And dudes don't want to get used for that no more. You know, they use you, they try to get you to do trips. Now they straight up asking you for cash apps, you know, right up front. I need $250 for my daycare. Who watching your daycare? Nanny McPhee? I'm just saying.
The foodie call, the help moving, just advice all the time. Now, if that's your friend, that's your friend. But if you want something romantic with this person, and there's nothing coming back your way, man, you got to cut that loss.
It's time to go ahead and go. Look at this. OG say you can't ask all of your friends.
That's true.
But you know what? I thought about that. And this goes back to one of the first chapters.
Choose your friends.
I mean,
friends. And you may have, you know, friends, and you may have quote unquote close friends. Those real players. We're talking about the 2 or 3 guys, because there ain't normally more than that. You know, 2 or 3 guys that you can really deal with. You really talk to and open up to. Those are the people whose opinion really matter in your life. And if they feel some kind of way about it, then you might want. And this is another thing I want to tell people. When you introduce a new person into the dynamic of your life, the next time you see those people whose opinions you care about, ask them to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Tell them to tell you the truth. Because a lot of times, friends and family will have an opinion of who you're dating and won't say anything because you haven't opened that door. So they don't want to, hey, you like it, they love it. They support you because that's your family and that's your friends. But if you open that door and say, hey, man, give me the real truth, tell me the truth how you feel, and get that opinion. And even if you decide to stay in the relationship, at least it may give you a different point of view.
Yeah. So he said, yeah, your friends will tell you without even asking. True story. So yeah, Yeah, your real boys will do that. Now, OG said, y'all know what I'm talking about. we tend to clown around. Hey, and then I'm gonna roll back up here because I ain't forgot it. You know the name of the game. Your woman chose me.
Hey, it's like that sometimes.
From the Chronic.
Like,
Remember that?
Sometimes you bring her around and lose her, but you know the game is what it is.
That's true.
But again, if you lost her because you brought her around your friends, that wasn't your girl to with.
But look at this, man. There's something that he said here, and I always heard it, and it made sense. Well, no, it didn't make sense because nobody ever explained it, but it did make sense because people told it to you. You should follow it. He said, if what it says, if a woman, where is it? About you should want her more than she wants you. You should want her more than she wants. I'm trying to see what he wrote because I highlighted it.
Oh no, it says she should want you more than you want her in that song.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Once she feels your neediness, once she feels that you need her more than she needs you, she will never trust your masculine core.
There it is.
So that's what I was looking for. So if you chasing after somebody heavy, it's like y'all flip roles and she become the masculine part.
Well, and the thing you got to think about this, especially in today's society, she could be having sex with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And still not want a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
She can be doing everything but the relationship.
Yeah.
And have you really believing, oh, okay, this might be something.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time it's just a passing thing. So you got to really be careful with how you do this. I can admit I fell for it. I was seeing a young lady and I shoot. You couldn't have told me we wasn't working towards something.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out I wasn't up with a side dude.
Yeah.
But it be like that.
Yeah, it do. I mean, you can't be mad about it. You just gotta count your losses up, move on.
Yeah.
But also I think the big mistake we make is that we believe everybody thinks like us.
Right.
We think that, okay, people won't commit to you. People who want to commit to you do these certain things.
Right.
Whereas to them, those things that they do,
just
not even important.
Nope.
They're not even on the radar.
Yep.
But I think what he's talking about here, though, is that when you find that out, when you already know, okay, this person don't really want me like that, but you turn into Steve Urkel then and like, I'm gonna weigh you down. I'm gonna weigh you down. There you go. Look at OG talking about he just called me out.
It happens.
Jamel back in the house. I'm gonna get you a theme song too. I gotta get all y'all some theme songs. I'm working on it.
That's a good one. You gotta differentiate white energy from fun girl energy. And you definitely gotta classify these women to save yourself the time and the energy.
Yeah, and that was Jamel.
Yeah.
And Kevin Samuel said this, and I'd always heard the Bible verse, but it didn't connect until he said it. And basically it says, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. You got to find a wife. Most times we find a girlfriend and try to make her a wife, but it's somebody who already doing the wifely things. And that's not necessarily sex, but it's just the way that she care for you, the way that she look out, all the stuff that a wife would do.
Yep. Already got those wife qualities.
There you go. Now, he also said you punishing yourself when you want to be in a relationship with a woman more than she wants to be in a relationship with you.
Yep.
Again, I know I made the Steve Urkel reference, but in that show, he was chasing Laura, but Lord have mercy, he had Myra right there.
I know it. If you tell me, well, Myra was all right. Myra was it.
What? Man, look. And she wanted to be with him. Just him. Ain't no feeling like that. Like, if you with somebody and they only want you, they don't see nobody else, everybody invisible. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Listen.
Myra was way better.
Lamar was where it was.
Jamel said, "Oh, you can't build a wife. You got to find them." Yep, that's right. You got to find them. So basically, this is a short chapter, but the big things I got out of this is ask your friends. You better talk to your homeboys.
I think the two things I take from it is ask your friends and you use your discernment. You know, if it don't feel right, if it feel like she ain't giving you that energy you want, don't just hang around and let somebody give you what they want to give you and you ain't getting what you want to do, especially if you putting your all into it.
There's one part I like on this. He said, and then we can move on to the next one. If a woman feels your feminine is stronger than hers.
Yep.
I'm just going to stop right there.
That's it.
If your feminine is stronger than hers. Now, he didn't say not to have it because we kind of built, you know, doing a little bit of everything. But if it overrides everything you do, it ain't going to work, man.
Nope.
It ain't going to work. All right, man. Closing thoughts.
I pretty much gave them, man, you know, take your time and make sure you vet these women because believe me, they're vetting you.
And they say, wow. Yeah, man, about the having too much feminine. Yeah, that'll do it. But then you know what? We are trained to have more feminine.
In today's society, yes, the men have more feminine.
But remember back in the late 80s when they tried to say get in touch with your feminine side. And they pushed that for decades. And now that men doing it, they don't like it, which kind of goes into the next chapter, but we're going to talk about that. Test it. He said, take away the attention to see if she responds. Yep. But a lot of us not even aware. You know, we dictated by our emotions. And I think that's the thing that sabotages this stuff. You know, we operating off emotion and not logical, like Fritz said, taking away the attention. If you was deep in your emotions, you wouldn't even think to do that.
Well, I think Fred, he's right, but I think the main thing is we all get to our point of, is this really real at different times?
Yeah.
Like one guy might after 2 weeks be like, man, I don't think she's feeling me. Well, it might take another guy 2 months to figure out she might not be feeling me. And then different women play the game so well, they give you just enough to keep you hanging on and thinking something.
That's true.
Every time they feel you pulling away a little bit, they feed. Oh, I like having him around. Let me feed him a little bit.
Oh yeah, and then they keep it going.
Yeah,
they keep it going. They build a man. You just serving that one part. You're the part that buy food. Yeah. Somebody else serving all the other stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Red pills opens eyes. Yeah. And he agreed. I'm gonna settle on this, and then we're gonna move to the next chapter. But some women are lost too and don't know what to look for.
That's not your problem. That's not the problem. How does this work for me? You know, is she doing what I need? She don't know what she wants.
But then that goes back to us being trained a certain way,
right?
Because we don't know that. They said a lot of women and men can't differentiate lust from love. I agree.
But if you're getting some lust, at least you know she likes
at least some kind of way. And they say walk away, but keep the door open. All right, let's try this next one. Chapter 30, man. We getting the good ways up in here, man.
Oh yeah.
30 chapters here. All right, chapter 30. And it just feeds into what we just talked about. I like how all of these chapters connect together in some kind of way.
Oh yeah.
Chapter 30. What she wants is not what she says.
It's wrong because it's true. Go ahead, Doc. Go on, tell him.
That's I'm saying it's 100% true. So he says in the beginning of the chapter, sometimes a woman will make a request of her man in plain English,
right?
Not to get him to do something, but to see if he is so weak that he will do it. Testing his capacity to do what's right. And if the man does what she asks, she will be disappointed and angry. The motivations.
Okay.
Oh, he said we spend knowledge.
Listen, I'm 100% sure we've all walked in this trap in our life.
Yeah.
I look at it like this, and he goes into this later on in the chapter. Do what you think is right.
Yeah.
It's becoming blindly clear to me. My focus cannot be what makes the women and children around me happy. My focus has to be what is right for my family, or for the people I'm responsible for. Whether they may be mad at me now, you're not going to be liked all the time by everybody in your house if you do what you do as a man.
Yeah.
There's going to be some times where they're going to hate your guts.
Or be afraid.
And sometimes they need to be afraid.
I had a situation like that. Recently, my wife told me that, when we make big moves, maybe refinance the house or make a large purchase like a car. I always talk to her. Because I like to have her input, because she has to live with this, whatever decision I make, she got to live with it too.
Right.
So, I take what she says into advisement. And, she'd always say, well, whatever you say, it's fine. But she'll be nervous on the inside.
Right.
And I can tell that. But we just made a major purchase. And she said, I'm nervous. I'm scared. But you never steered us wrong before. Every decision you made concerning the big stuff like that worked out for our favor. So I trust you to do that. And that's one of those things where, what she said, what she was thinking, but some of them, they say one thing, but I think how the author describes it is that their purpose for saying it is not connected to what she say.
Right.
He has an example up here, but I ain't gonna talk about that. It's before 8:00, so that's an after dark conversation. But I ain't gonna talk about that. If you're interested, go read the book.
I'm gonna take earlier another chapter. He says women aren't liars. That's an earlier chapter. He says that women aren't liars, and this is kind of the same thing, where they're asking you for something, but what they're asking you for is larger or broader than the small thing in the moment.
Right.
And these decisions can be hard, especially the situation he described, very difficult. But you have to realize that you are constantly going to be tested by your woman. Now that's two ways of looking at that. Is one, as long as you stay together, you always have another chance to get it right.
Right.
But are you going to cumulatively pile up too many wrong answers? Now, I know in my own personal relationship, I probably piled up too many wrong answers. That's why things didn't work out.
But what's bad though is we don't know what the answers are. And what's even worse is that they don't know what the answers are, because their feelings keep changing and the answers based on those feelings.
Exactly. But that's why it says you as a man have to stay in your focus and in your purpose and all that, because they don't know what the answers are. But if the answer ends up being what keeps you in your purpose, then they'll be happy with the answer, regardless of if you want it or not.
Yeah, because it's like the way he described it, it's like they ask for a thing and they don't want the thing, but they want the action that's counter to the thing. So for instance, if they say, okay, they on a diet, and they tell you, I want some cake. And you know she don't need it, but you go ahead and get it anyway. Because you just make her happy to be eat some treats. She didn't really want the cake. She just wanted to know subconsciously maybe that you was going to hold the line.
Yeah.
And once you bend and break, it's like, oh man, yeah. All I had to do was ask him for something and he gonna do it. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I ain't tell you no lie. I'm guilty of that. Hey, Damien said, ask them what they want for dinner. They don't know that either. Hey, they want,
I stopped asking that question a long time ago. I don't even.
Hey, I know you ask them, they be like, whatever you eating.
I just start ordering food. If I'm ordering out, I'm Uber eating or something, I just start ordering. And when they get here.
Yep, she wants to know that you are a good leader. Yep. Now he says something here. And he says, well, two things. One, he said, if you're a weak man, this feminine trait of wanting one thing and asking for another will piss you off. You will wonder, why don't you just tell me what you really want instead of saying one thing and meaning another, expecting me to figure it out? I'm guilty of that.
I've definitely done that. It's because initially it can get frustrating until you realize as a man, just do what you know is right all the time. Just what you believe and truly. And he says that earlier chapters when he's talking about finding your purpose and finding your focus. We can easily sway you from your purpose. She don't respect you.
But look at this. This is what I came up with right here, though. He talks about the masculine feminine balance within us all. And we tilt more toward the masculine, they tilt more toward the feminine. But the more feminine you become, the more masculine she becomes. But also, there's another chapter earlier, too, where he says we can increase her masculine by asking her questions and having her do things that's out of character.
Yep.
So if you telling her, just be straight with me and tell me exactly what you want, be logical, she going to start doing it. And then she going to turn into you.
Yep.
You don't want her to turn into you. So let's look at this. Women are built to be indifferent about food. They ate whatever the man brought home.
That's true.
Yeah, like back then. Yep, that's it. OG said you have to make that clear in the beginning. Don't beat around the bush. Yeah, you tell them. Definitely tell them that. But then, I guess what he's saying is, that was the other part. It's the two big lessons I got out of this. One, don't let that get under your skin.
Yep.
He's telling you it's going to happen. No matter how much you love your wife, you with your wife, been with her forever. It's still going to happen. The next part is this. A superior man practices maintaining full consciousness in all situations. Don't lose your mind, no matter what it is.
Right.
You got to be clear-headed and level-headed all the time. You can't lose control. Because that's the stuff that gets you messed up. He said, your woman will ask you to do all kinds of things every day. Don't allow yourself to be swayed from your truth, from the direction of your heart. Then he talked about underneath the request is an actual desire and need.
Yeah.
So,
which goes back to what we're saying. Stay on your purpose, because the real desire is a strong man. That's the baseline desire. A strong man that's going that they can put some stock into and believe is going to be there and produce what they need. And once that is broken or is deteriorated to the point where she can no longer trust the relationship, is going to be gone. And we all have to manage that. And as strong-willed as some women are, they want a man that will resist that, or at least, hey, I hear what you're saying, but I'm doing this because this is going to be better for us and better for me.
You know what? I see it as a fortress. And some fortresses have very thick walls.
Yep.
And some fortresses have thin walls. And usually the fortresses with the thick walls, the inside is just soft and mushy.
Yep.
But just withstanding that thick wall is the hard part. So he says, well, before I go into that, right here, they need to feel safe under your care. But then what happens when the idea of safe doesn't match up? What they think safe is. I was thinking about this before. You know, some of them think safe is that you're gonna shoot somebody or go and fight and beat up somebody. Whereas your idea of safe might be, okay, we just gonna avoid certain things where nobody have to get hurt or stressed out. But that's not where they at. So yeah, that's the issue. But that go ahead.
Back to the last chapter. Choose women that choose you. If you a certain way and you provide a certain way or at a certain level, and that's not compatible with what she wants, then that just means it ain't gonna work out.
And what do you say? You with the wrong one.
Yep.
Now Jamel say. Now at the end of this chapter, again, you know, these chapters short, so we good to go. He said, always apply your sword of discrimination to your woman's requests, never taking them at face value, always checking with your deepest wisdom and following the road of your highest truth, even if it seems to mean disappointing your woman. She won't be disappointed if she feels you are strong and clear in your true direction of your heart. And if she is disappointed, you shouldn't be with her. Get on your program or get left. There you go.
That's it.
So that's the biggest advice. So, but technically, what I'm getting from that is that you can win either way. If you denied and disappoint her, but you still are the man in her eyes, you winning.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal. But if you cave in, you know, she'd be happy, but she see you less of the man, you still get a small victory. But preferably is the big one.
Yeah. And it's gonna be a constant thing, fellas. It's not going nowhere. That's just who and what they are. And you got to learn the flow. Like they say, it's like the ocean. You got to ride that ocean.
There you go.
Ride it out. But you stay on your journey, on your mission, and it'll work itself out.
You know what they say, that's saying a reason, a season, and a lifetime.
Yep.
People are like that. You know, some people come in for that quick reason, so they're in and out. Some people for a season, so you might be with them for a year or two, you know, and then they out. But then the lifetime people, some people find them early.
Yep.
Some people find them late. But there you go. And that's how I go, man. That's how I go. All right. I told y'all these some short chapters here, but they pack a punch.
Yes, they do.
Oh, hey, Mr. Pat, well, Mr. Rossiter, that's like one of the best people I ever worked for in my whole life. I'm telling you. A good man right there. All right. Here we go. Chapter 31. Her complaint is content free. Oh boy. This one, reading this taught me a lot. You say hustle and flows.
Yeah, this chapter right here is one of the ones that's like, you go ahead and tell them about it, Don. I don't want to jump in out front.
Ooh, man, I highlighted so much in this chapter. Let me see where we get. All right. Basically, woman always wanting divine masculine presence in a man, regardless of her specific complaint or mood. So she still wants you to be a man all the time. A man should hear his woman's complaints like warning bells and then do his best to align his life with his truth and purpose. However, if he believes in the literal context of her complaint, he will immediately go off course. For the content reflects her present mood more than a careful observation of tendencies over time. So basically what he's saying is that when she says something, the complaint is not the thing that she's saying, but it's like you said earlier, it's the bigger picture behind it.
Right. She's not necessarily mad at you for what you actually did. Mm-hmm. She's mad at you for the feeling behind what you did, the feeling it gave her behind whatever you did or didn't do. And I can wholeheartedly admit to falling face first into these problems, into this trap, into this problem, because, and largely because someone else's sense of urgency about something may not be yours.
Exactly.
But these are the type of things that need to be discussed early on in a relationship. Because the example he gives here, the garage, cleaning out the garage.
Yes.
And that's just simply a matter of priority.
But listen to what he say though. But he said this. I'm gonna start with this part, and then we're gonna loop back around to the garage. And this is what I had to understand too. Your word is a demonstration of your purpose, of your masculine core. When we say something, that's what it's gonna be.
Yep.
If we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do the something. Now with the garage, in the example, he was talking about a guy saying he was gonna clean the garage. And he didn't do it right then. So he said, I'll be back in a few hours, then I'll clean the garage, because she's been so mad about it. And then the lady got mad. Hey, I can't take this no more. I ain't doing this no more. Then he said, all right, then. I said, I'm going to clean the garage. Everything going to be fine. What do you want? But basically what she wanted is when he said he was going to do it, for him to hold up to his word and do it.
And like I said, that's that sense of priority. Let's say she asked you to the garage and you got a couple other things going on. You're like, yeah, I'm going to clean up and get to it. And you may say to yourself, I am going to get to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it until X, Y, Z, or until I can knock these things out and do these things. And that's where the discussion comes in. You know, that's when you got to have it. Say, when your woman asks you, hey, can you do this or do that? And you don't, you're going to do it. Yeah, I can clean the garage. However, I got a few things I'm working on. I might not clean the garage for 3 weeks.
Man, but you know what's going to happen? You know exactly what's going to happen. You say you're going to clean the garage and you don't clean it today because you got some other stuff to do. By the time you come back home, she's going to be in there trying to clean the garage.
That's okay, though. I don't have an issue with that if I told her up, if it was a request, yes, I'm going to take care of that, but I'm going to take care of it at this point. I can't control if you got an issue with the timeline. I can tell you that I can tell you I told you the truth.
Right.
And I did what I said I was going to do. If I said I'm going to do it in 3 weeks, I do it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It'll get done within the next week. It'll get done within the next 2 weeks. Then that's fine. If that's not soon enough for you, then yeah, you go ahead and do it yourself. If that's really the issue. But if you ask me to do it, and I tell you I'm gonna do it, and I tell you when I'm going to do it, when I'm going to execute this at this particular point.
Yeah.
Your sense of urgency about it is not my problem.
See, this right here, that's how I feel. Don't touch it. I told you I was gonna do it. So you wait and let me do it. That's where I am.
I agree. But if
I'm there.
I agree. If I tell you I'm gonna do it and I say when I'm gonna do it, and you don't like my timeline, I don't want you to do it. But if you go in there, and this may be an issue I need to work on. I'm going to let you work on it while I'm doing whatever else I'm doing because I said when I was going to do it. Come in and start cleaning it up.
That's what I'm saying. He said, let her do it if you want to. Because then you fall into another one because you let me do it. It's crazy. Hey, David said, I run things here and rat your cucamonga. Oh, man. But the thing is, I guess the biggest part out of this is that if you say you're going to do something, keep your word. That's it. That this whole chapter is really about that she looking for that. And I guess we could connect it to this whole father thing and all of that. Cause most people have fathers when fathers are in the home, they used to their dad running the show. And it's kind of like, dad gonna get it done. So I think the expectation is the same thing.
Yeah.
And again, he's talking about here is trust. You know, if she can't trust you with living your life from your deepest wisdom and fullest capacity, she can't trust you with her life. If she can't trust your masculine impeccability, so she would listen to this, she will naturally compensate by overdeveloping her own. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. All right. So Patterson say she asked you to do it because she wants you to do it. If she takes over and does it herself, she's not enjoying it and it's out of anger. Therefore, it won't be done with love and thought. If she wanted to do it herself, she wouldn't ask you to do it. It sounds like taking out the trash. They want to take the trash out.
I agree 100% with what T-Man saying over there. My issue is, again, if you ask me to do it, and I give you a timeline for it to be done, just like, hey, like a bill collector. You can call me, you can want the bill, the money paid on Wednesday, but if I ain't got it till Friday, guess
right. You're going to get it on Saturday because I'm going to feel rich for at least about 8 hours. Oh, man. But yeah, but I guess this whole thing here, man, is just, again, you know, keeping your word and setting reasonable expectations. Jamel said a lot of women issues come back to security and trust.
Yeah.
And then male issues is respect.
Yep.
Heard a pastor preach a sermon about that, saying that women looking for security, stuff like that, men looking for respect.
Yep.
Yeah, Lion, I agree. Once we're open with our expectation, then the ball is in their court. That's right. Damien said insecurities come from no covering.
Yep. That's true. A woman does have to feel like she's covered with you, and if she doesn't, she will have insecurity. I can admit I've actually had a woman say those words to me. And again, that comes back down to how you cover and how they expect to be covered.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think I told y'all that story about when my wife and I was in Charlotte one night. We was in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was my birthday. That's when she put my name on the Jumbotron. Like, that was awesome. And she did that at the basketball game. But we was walking back to the hotel, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. Charlotte, a bigger city, so, you know, all of that's happening. And I noticed this dude following us, right? He was drunk, but he goes, hey, y'all, you know, y'all a nice looking couple. He just, you know, all of that. And, you know, we talked to him real quick and kept moving. He kept talking and kept following us. And I was like, man, nah, this ain't right. I ain't doing this. So what I did, I said, hey, let's walk in this store. So we took a step off to the side of the store. Dude walked by and left. You know, it wasn't, nothing happened.
Right.
But then to her, she's like, well, you know, my dad ran a drug treatment center. I'm used to the crackheads and all that stuff coming around. We just did ignore them and it would have been all right. But that's not my idea of protection.
Right.
My idea, we gonna skirt around it so nobody got to get hurt. Nobody got to do nothing.
Yep.
But, and that's what it is. Damien said they be in survival mode with no covering. Bruh, survival mode is real. And so many of us are in survival mode that we don't even know it, and it's destroying our lives because the body is not meant to be in that state of being for a prolonged time. It's not, but we allow ourselves to slip into it. And next thing you know, we making emotional decisions. I should have a button that say emotional damage. That's what I want. Because that's what that's going to do. Survival mode is a thing. Had a similar situation with a tornado coming toward the house. See, that I'm saying. I'm saying he knows. So, all right, man. We there. That's about the end of it. So, you know, any last words to round out this chapter?
I'm closing this, man. What this book tells you, and I'm sure for a lot of us, life has told us is women are gonna test you, and they don't really they just know they want you to make them feel good.
Yeah.
So in all of that, if you're dealing with somebody that know what they want, then the best thing you can do is do what's right. So, fellas,
Yeah.
do the right thing for you, and that should result in the right thing for your family. And stay on your purpose, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, I think we should have court vision.
Yes.
Think
That's-
about in the NBA, a good point guard has court vision. He can see where everybody is.
That's right.
And the center can't see where everybody is because he got to get back down court to be in the defender.
Yeah.
So the point guard know where to go and what's happening. The center doesn't. And that's what it's like in life. We got to have that A+ court vision. Got to be able to see everything, all aspects. But then the person you with, maybe your wife, girl, whoever, your significant other, they may not can see everything because they don't have all the information. So they're going to give you an opinion based on what they can see, but it's not the whole picture. So, fellas, we got to have that. But also, what this chapter is talking about, what I'm getting to with this is that it's showing us how not to be shook by the stuff that's going to happen. Things like I wish back in the day somebody would have said, "Hey, your wife gonna do this. Your girlfriend gonna do this thing right here, this exact thing." I mean, I talked to my dad some here and there, but it wasn't like this specific stuff. Cause my mom wouldn't like that, so he didn't worry about that. But I wish I'd have knew that.
She wasn't like that in front of you.
Yeah, I'll say that. I will say that because we talk about some stuff now, but I guarantee this hair would have been a whole lot more black, and I would have some other part about that. So real quick, I'm gonna go back to Jamel talking about the tornado coming toward the house. He wanted to leave, and the wife didn't understand why she made them leave. And then the house was fine, but 16 miles away was decimated. But see, he moved out of the way. He had the court vision just in case. Yep, Damien said amen. Fritz said that takes the fun part out of it. He said but he meant out of it. Hey, you can have that fun, bro. I'm not trying to be stressed out. I'm saying I got white hair all down here and everywhere else. I want to do that.
That's fun. I wish I never had to have.
Man, I'm telling you, that's a little bit too much fun for me. Yep. All right. So we rolling down to the end. Just to give y'all a sneak peek to next week. She really doesn't want to be number one. Boy, that right there.
That's a whole lot.
Now, this is the whole simp blue pill thing here.
Yes.
That right there. Mm-hmm. Your excellent track record is meaningless to her. And she wants to relax. She wants to relax in a demonstration of your direction. So she wants you to kind of take over. So that's gonna be it for the book study, man. Lion, you got any last? No, hold on. I'm gonna let you go last. So I'm gonna say this, and then you can go, and then we gonna be out. Let's pay attention to some of the stuff he's talking about. It's gonna save us a lot of heartache. It's gonna save us a lot of stress. And I like where he's coming from because it's not having you change the woman, but having you change yourself. And I always said that you can't change other people. You can't. Being in the ministry, I'm telling you, you can't change other people. They got to want to change themselves. The only person you can affect change on is yourself. That's it. Nobody else. So you change you. And then if they with you, they'll change in response to you. Either one, they're going to change and align with you, or when they sense that change in you, they're going to go the other way and run away. And guess what? That might be fine too.
Yeah.
Also, I'm trying to set something up. I want to talk about this this epidemic that's going on with people committing suicide and all that. I was going to do the nerd show tomorrow. I might try to do it tomorrow. Depends on anybody else can come in. Jay, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. We'll see either tomorrow or Saturday morning. Let me throw this up here. Mr. Rosser that say, try to be a good listener. Knowledge is power, leads to better decisions.
Yes.
Hey, that's a wise man right there. I'm telling you, if y'all ever get to spend time with him, I'm gonna tell him about that time you had me up on that ladder trying to get them cable lines up off above the playground. I'm telling you. All right. So, Jay, I'm gonna put the music on and I'm gonna let you go ahead and take us home.
And thank y'all for joining us on another Thursday episode of the book. Deep into this book now, and I just want you guys to stay with us. We're getting to some topics, some chapters that are really good. Build ourselves, be better men. We appreciate y'all joining us. We love you. We out.
Peace.